Hi, my name is Alex with Tech Tutorials, and today we're going to continue our passage into discovering Confluence. Today we're actually going to jump into Confluence, and I'm going to walk you through the navigation and show you what are some of the things that you can use Confluence for. This is going to be a brief primer. We will be doing deeper dives into very specific topics within the world of Confluence, so make sure you're subscribed, make sure you drop a like, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comment section below. Let's jump into, and this is always still so weird to say, let's jump into Confluence. I'm so used to saying Jira, but we are totally in a different product, so let's jump into Confluence and take a look. All right, so the Confluence interface actually looks and feels a whole lot like Jira. And this is intentional, right? Because it shares the same DNA as that of Jira. So if you're using the two products or you're teeter-tottering between the two, it should look and feel familiar. So you shouldn't feel like you have to relearn everything. This should feel much like something you've been using forever, especially if you've been using Jira for some time. Off the top, just to kind of walk you through the navigation, we have our grid. This allows us to actually switch. So if you want to toggle between Jira and Confluence, you don't actually have to have like separate tabs or separate windows. You can actually just tab or switch here and go from Jira to Confluence very, very quickly. This Confluence logo is actually going to bring you back to the home screen, and it's basically another shortcut to the home tab here, and it's just going to show you the things here that Confluence is showing you by default. Obviously, the home will show you the home, which is what we just discussed. Recent's kind of critical. Recent is a really cool one to look at because this will show you things that you visited recently, so different pages. And don't worry if you don't know too much about spaces and pages. We are going to be covering those much more in depth in future videos. Just know that a space in Confluence is synonymous to a Jira project, and a page in Confluence is like an issue inside of Jira. So this is basically like the correlation, the Rosetta Stone between Jira and Confluence. So these pages are going to be pages that you've visited, pages that you've actually worked on, which means that you've actually typed something in. But most importantly, your drafts. Your drafts is very important because sometimes you will forget to hit save. Sometimes you will forget to publish a page and you're going to go, where in the world did it go? So you can come in here to recent and drafts and then take a look. Then obviously if you bookmark any pages, they'll show up in your start. The spaces, this is again very similar to your Jira projects. The best practice is usually one Confluence space for one Jira project because you can link them together. I'll show you how to do that again in future videos. And so it's healthy to have one space per project. You don't have to follow that. By default, every user that uses Confluence can have their own personal space. Your administrators can turn that on or off, but it's customary for every individual to kind of have their own private space. And so the number of projects versus the number of spaces might not always correlate, but just know that it's at least a good practice to have one-to-one. But given that each team can have their own space, each individual can have their own space, each department, however you want to structure this, just know that spaces is basically like the project. So you'll be able to see, very similar to Jira, you'll be able to see only the spaces that you have been granted access to. So if a space is locked up or restricted, it won't show up on your list here. People is actually a little bit more useful in Confluence, but I still tell people just ignore it. But this is where you can collaborate and tag a team. And then the apps, very similar to Jira, Confluence also has its marketplace. It's the exact same marketplace, but you have Confluence specific only applications that you can enable here. And so you'll be able to come in here and enable diagramming tools such as Lucidchart, Draw.io, and include plugins like custom charts for Confluence or external share for Confluence. And so we'll be exploring those again in future videos, and we'll talk about that much later. And the second to final thing is the templates. So templates in Confluence, there's about 128 of them based on what I'm seeing here. This number grows, but these are really, really cool. These templates basically will give you like a structure, a shell for a page. That means that when you hit this create button, rather than being greeted with this completely blank white page that has nothing on it and you have to figure out what do I want to write in it, you can pick from any of these 128 templates to basically pre-populate a page for you. And if you're not creative like me, this is really beneficial because Atlassian has thought up of like pretty much any type of business event or meeting that you can think of where you would have the benefit of having some sort of a template already for you to kind of help you communicate with your team. So the one that I typically use is a retrospective, because I work with a lot of scrum masters and we're taking a lot of retrospectives. Also, the daily stand-up template is really, really beneficial. And then there's a meeting. So if you're doing like one-on-ones with your team, you can do that. And so there's just a lot of great templates on here that if you click on them, all you got to do is click on it, and then you'll see that the page is automatically populated on the left, and now you just start filling it. And so the way you use Confluence is you can either A, pick a template, or B, start with a fresh, whole new page, and you just give it a title, right? So this is my first quarterly planning meeting, right? And if I could spell quarterly, I don't know that I spelled it correctly. I didn't, right? So this is the title. And because I'm using a template, all I need to do is come in here, right? Start populating my goals, my metrics, business updates, my financials. I can just start putting things in, right? So I can start putting in numbers. This is basically just a table, right? I can start doing things like this. And the tables here in Confluence are a lot more limited. So don't think of this like an Excel copy, because that's not what this is. But this is a great place for you to come and, again, kind of just put information that you're going to be able to share with your team. If it's not obvious by now, Confluence is a knowledge sharing tool. It's where you go and put information that your team can very easily share. Now, the biggest question that usually comes to mind is, so what's the difference between Confluence, SharePoint, Teams, Slack, Google Docs, right? These are all places where you put information. And so my answer that I usually give people is, you want to leverage Confluence, especially when you're using Jira, because the two talk to each other very, very well, and they're very well integrated together. So you could go and use Google Docs, you could go use some other tool, but finding information gets challenging, right? It's really hard to then go search for data. But Confluence leverages Jira's powerful search capabilities and carries it over to Confluence. And so anything you type, anything you attach, any text on anywhere in Confluence becomes instantly queryable, and you can very quickly find your information. Additionally, when you do have some pages, I'm just going to hit publish here, you'll start noticing that here on the left-hand side, you start getting these tree structures. And so it's really easy for you to go and navigate all the different pages that you have, and you can actually move things around. You can nest items. So if I want to put this under retrospectives, I can organize how my pages are laid out, and you can very methodically build out a page structure where all of your onboarding information docs are, all of your meeting minutes are, all of your retrospectives, all of your scrums, all of your planning meetings, right? So you can do categories for each one and just have an infinite number of children pages below that, where they're date stamped. You can share specific pages. You can lock pages or restrict pages so that only executives can look at them, right? So you can have the whole space open, but you can kind of restrict it. In future videos, I'm going to show you so much more of the capabilities, right? I'm going to go into deep diving into how to create spaces, how to create pages, what you should do, how you can organize this stuff. So make sure, if you're not already subscribed, these are, again, a whole new series. It's part of the Fall of Atlassian, where we're talking about other Atlassian products, and I'm kicking things off with Confluence. So this is supposed to be as a primer, right? Just a kind of a teaser, if you will, of what Confluence is, what it's used for, and what you can do in it. And so I just wanted to cover the navigation, and I wanted to show you how to really quickly add a page for your own specific benefit. But now that you kind of know what it is, make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be going deep diving into Confluence, and I'm going to show you a lot of the cool functionalities, some of the cool plugins you can enable, and how you can really, really, really get the best bang for your buck with respect to Confluence. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you drop a like, and I hope you enjoyed this teaser, this introductory teaser into what Confluence is. Thanks, appreciate it. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next video.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now.